Everyone, please welcome the 2025 American Academy of Nursing Living Legends, Phyllis Sharps. Brother Ignatius Perkins. Christine A. Miaskowski. Judith E. Haber. Connie W. Delaney. Dyanne D. Affonso. Now let's welcome back to the stage your hosts tonight, President of the American Academy of Nursing, Linda Scott, and President-elect, Deborah Barksdale.
So good evening again. I am delighted to be joined now by Dr. Deborah Barksdale, the Academy's President-elect, to honor, yes, Deborah, to honor the organization's most prestigious category of fellows, our living legends. This year's Living Legends exemplify the foundational elements that define our profession: humanity, science, leadership, and innovation. Tonight, we celebrate their achievements, which serve as a clear reminder that compassion and passion can drive change. You will feel inspired hearing about the life's work of Doctors Dyanne Affonso, Connie Delaney, Judith Haber, Christine Miaskowski, Brother Ignatius Perkins, and Phyllis Sharps. Thank you again to our generous sponsors, Cedars-Sinai, for helping to make this evening a memorable event for all of us.
The American Academy of Nursing's Living Legends designation is not simply given to a remarkable individual. It is reserved for those whose work and character inspire others to act. Their contributions lay the critical groundwork for future studies, new technologies, and creativity in the profession. The difficult task of selecting these individuals could not have been done without the diligent oversight of the Academy's Living Legends Task Force. And this task force was chaired by the immediate past president, Dr. Ken White, and his colleagues. They labored over so many qualified legends, ultimately making their recommendations to the board.
It seems hard to believe that the Academy has bestowed the Living Legend designation to 144 fellows of the Academy. So on screen, let us take a moment to recognize these amazing legends over the last 3 decades. I would also like to pause and recognize the living legends that passed away this year. Dr. Linda Burns Bolton, Billy Brown, Rita Chow, Loretta Ford, Marie Manthe, Joyce Newman Geiger, and Thelma Shore. We honor all of the Academy living legends who are no longer with us. We know that these leaders live on through those they mentored and the lives they touched. They have impacted lasting change, and we are grateful for their vision to advance the nursing profession. So please join me again in recognizing their contributions. It is now time to recognize this evening's change makers for our profession.
So exciting now. It is my pleasure to introduce tonight's first living legend, Dr. Dyanne Affonso. Dr. Dyanne Affonso stands as a towering force in the global health community. With a career spanning over 5 decades, she has dedicated her boundless energy to cultural-based care models. Currently, she holds the title of Honorary President, Center of Excellence, the Orden del sorry, I can't speak Spanish, Professional Intermedia de Roma, and Professor Emeritus and former Dean of the University of Toronto. Born and raised in Hawaii, Dr. Affonso's values encompasses the Hawaiian concept of pono, or righteous, and justice, which inspired her development of Melama, or a caring community health program. This pioneering model addresses disparities in maternal and child health care among Native Hawaiians, Japanese, Filipino, and other multi-ethnic underserved women in Hawaii. This model has significant policy influence and was referenced as a model to replicate by Senator Daniel Inouye, the Health Resources and Service Administration, and the National Institute of Health. The Malama model was expanded to serve Hispanic women in Omaha, Nebraska, and at the University of Toronto, where she supported the health of First Nations people. Her work has been integrated into nursing practice in Indigenous communities in the British Columbia, Canada, further validating traditional health knowledge through partnership with Western scientific approaches to healing. As an originator and innovator, Dr. Affonso's work expands her vision on a global front, playing a pivotal role in developing the Center of Excellence for Nursing Scholarship in Italy, Ireland, and Albania. These centers include one that evolved into a World Health Organization center in Ireland, have elevated nursing to critical roles in health policy and workforce development. Let's hear more about Dyanne's impact from one of her sponsors.
I met Dyanne in 2015 in Rome when I was invited to work with APOSVI, which is the Italian Professional Nursing Organization, on developing a research arm in history. She's incredibly humble, and she's incredibly astute at understanding what are the critical issues facing the nursing profession. She listens well, she's very kind, and she has been able to work with policymakers to get programs that she helped to develop become part of legislation. So she's been incredibly impactful in terms of how she has maneuvered and how she thinks critically and how she's been able to engage with many different professions on many different levels. When you look at what she's done and how she's had an influence on leadership and policy and just healthcare for people who don't have resources, she has really achieved amazing, amazing things. She has an astute ability, again, to pick out the most critical issues and to follow through on them. Her values, her ethics are just maintained throughout many difficult times. And I just love the way she is able to move forward. She knows what's important. She mentors new leaders. She is able to look out for marginalized populations. And again, she listens, she's kind, and her values and her ethics have been sustained even in an environment today where those kinds of things have become situational. We always talk about how sometimes our work isn't sustainable, but her work has been sustainable. And I think it's a message that she can give to young nurses to keep at it, keep going forward. It's a very, very important endeavor that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Academy, President Scott, and the Board of Directors for the Living Legend Honorary Award that upholds the legacy of the trailblazing nurse leaders. Special gratitude to the Academy's Living Legend Task Force, chaired by Dr. Kenneth White, for the arduous work of delivering the merits of all the nominees who likely were potential living legends. Deep gratitude and thanksgiving to my three sponsors, whose nomination letters brought the impact of my career to life. Dr. Julie Fairman, the Academy's Living Legend of 2024, who, as you know, is our beloved scholar in history and health policy, who ardently orchestrated my nomination and boldly framed my career in a meaningful way that I had not yet appreciated. Dr. Alessandro Stivano, the first chief nursing officer for the country of Italy, who highlighted my contributions to the first nursing COE in Italy that now became the cornerstone of the revolution of Italian nursing and also a model for the evolution of nursing in all of Europe. Dr. Kathleen McMillan, who was the former chief nursing officer for all of Ontario, who was the executive director of nursing services for First Nation Health and Inuit Health in Health Canada, who kindly invited me to collaborate on First Nations health, whereby selected communities adopted my Malama program protocols, and who supported my academic patient safety platform that became a catalyst for patient safety research in Canada. Joyous gratitude to all my colleagues who generously gave me partnerships that made the valuable COEs become reality, especially Dr. Gennaro, Rocco from Italy, Dr. Thomas Kearns from Ireland, who made the COEs become standard practice. Gratitude to the beautiful people of Hawaii, the women, the families, the nurses and the health leaders, the Queen Emma Foundation, Mr. Barry Taniguchi, the deceased CEO of the KTA stores, who funded the first 25K for just a nursing concept that made Malama program become more successful beyond all expectations. Deep gratitude to Senator Inoue and Dr. Patrick De Leon, who mentored me in what I didn't know was health policy at the time, and made all the difference in advancing nursing for our country. And gratitude to the grace of the countless nurses who shared with me that my publications and my research influenced their practice and their impact. Recently, my Italian colleagues asked me, what does the Academy of Nursing Living Legend honor mean? I replied, when you look at the word legends more deeply, they reveal stories that uphold a mirror to a culture's ideals and gives deeper meanings to a community or a discipline's experiences. Therefore, the Academy legend that frames this honor is the legend of nursing. This legend is enriched and comes alive by the stories of those whom the Academy recognizes each year. The legend of nursing is being created every day by nurses everywhere, many whose impact is often unseen, whose voices may not be heard, and whose stories have yet to be told, and yet await to be recognized. I'm humbly grateful to the Academy that my story now is part of the legend of nursing. I accept the Academy's honor as a representative of the many nurses whose unique stories and whose indelible impact on humanity are more than worthy, and they await to be recognized. Colleagues, thank you to all of you for celebrating the Academy's living legends, and all the legends present, and all the legends that have passed throughout the years. Thank you.
Our next living legend to highlight this evening is Dr. Connie Delaney. Constantly a step ahead and forever with an ideal bubble above her head. Yes, Dr. Connie Delaney is among the most brilliant thinkers in the profession and in the healthcare industry. Her monumental work in informatics, technology, and innovation make her what some might call an avant-gardist. Currently, Dr. Delaney is professor and dean at the University of Minnesota School of Nursing. With her career spanning more than 5 decades, she has been indispensable in shaping the integration of informatics into nursing research, practice, and education. Within the context of education, Dr. Delaney also helped lead the TIGER initiative, or Technology Informatics Guiding Education Reform, which set national standards for informatics curricula in nursing schools. One of the most influential aspects of Dr. Delaney's work was the establishment of the Nursing Minimum Data Set and the Nursing Management Minimum Data Set, where she was among the first to extract and code nursing data from electronic health records. She chaired the American Nurses Association's Nursing Informatics Data Set Evaluation Committee and served on the International Council of Nurses Steering Committee for the International Classification of Nursing Practice, which gained recognition by the World Health Organization. In 2013, she launched the influential Nursing Knowledge Big Data Science Conference, now a central platform for advancing nursing informatics, research, policy, and practice. Dr. Delaney's influence and expertise have led her to be a sought-after name in guiding transformation and policy. Dr. Delaney's leadership extends into health policy and advocacy. She served as an inaugural appointee to the Federal Health Information Technology Policy Committee, advising the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services on national HIT infrastructure. She also chairs the American Academy of Nursing's Artificial Intelligence Task Force and is the Academy's representative to the National Academy of Medicine's Clinician Forum on AI in Health and Medicine. Let us hear more about Connie's vision and innovation from one of her sponsors.
Connie's an extraordinary role model for nursing because she's had impact in all areas. Nurses in any role could identify with the things that she's done. She's had impact in administration, academics, research, policy, and practice. How has Connie advanced the profession of nursing? Oh, in so many ways. One example is she led the development of the first DNP program in nursing informatics. And that program today is ranked #2 in the nation. Connie's been an inspiration to me because she's like dynamite without the loud bang. Quiet and humble, but highly effective. And she knows how to bring people together and get the job done. In her own calm, quiet, unassuming, and humble way, she's led so many successful initiatives. She shows us that you don't have to be flamboyant center of attention to achieve tremendous outcomes. Rather, she builds coalitions, empowers others, and convenes work groups to get the work done, and has had many successful achievements. The personal story I'd like to share about Connie is that, our profession has worked for nearly 50 years on standardized terminologies, trying to have nursing speak with one voice and one common data set. And Connie has pulled together the people through the Nursing Knowledge Big Data Conference to make that work happen. Through 1,700 participants in these conferences over the last 13 years, we've formed 10 work groups that have really advanced that work and have positioned us well for data science and the world of artificial intelligence. Dean Delaney is so deserving of the Living Legend Award because of her outstanding achievements over the years and her sustained contributions to advancing policy, practice, and science.
Yes, we know what that means. Thank you. I'm honored to stand among the 2025 living legends, and I extend my deepest gratitude to the Academy, President Scott, President-elect Barksdale, the Board of Directors, and our extraordinary CEO, Suzanne Miyamoto. My heartfelt thanks to my sponsors, University of Pittsburgh Dean Emeritus, Jackie Dunbar Jacobs, University of Pennsylvania Professor Catherine Bowles, Harvard University Professor Patty Dykes, and the initiator, University of Minnesota Professor Emeritus Christine Mueller. Your actions are incredibly humbling. To my brother Clark and his husband Christopher, who are representing my family tonight, I share. In the beginnings in Northeast Iowa, you rooted me in the love of land, interdependence, resilience, the teamwork of our Iowa farm, and always holding an open door. I am blessed to work alongside truly remarkable individuals at the University of Minnesota, serving our extraordinary students, staff, and faculty, and sharing a shared purpose with you every day is a true gift. You know, our lives are made and filled with sacred inflection points, those unexpected moments that become tremendous gifts when we say yes. I am in awe and hold gratitude for the individuals who have helped create those moments or inflection points for me and have helped shape my journey. I'd like to mention a few. I wish I could acknowledge all of them. A research meeting in St. Louis, Missouri sparked a partnership with the University of Iceland professor Asta Thordsson. And this partnership would lead to remarkable international nursing and health informatics collaboration, research and education, friendship, and the deepest love of Iceland. Colleagues Judy Warren, Charlotte Weaver, Marion Ball, Michael Bly, Shirley Brecken, Rhiannon Frederick, your collaboration, in some case authorships, your cutting-edge nursing knowledge, big data set transformation support, and all elevating the voice and visibility of nurses and the people we serve. I say thank you. Judy, thank you for the FAN nomination in 1998. Thank you, University of Iowa, for my early career training and immersion in TEEP science and education. General Claire Adams-Ender, the epitome of a living legend, you have been an unwavering mentor, an enduring voice, and unrivaled in service. Peter and Shayla Klein, an educated change, you burst my protective bubble, and you fostered an integration of personal and professional living. You challenged my limits, and you pushed me to embrace artificial intelligence within my deepest commitment to humanity. I also want to note one angel, if you will, who gave me wings to fly, who can't be with us tonight. Viterbo University Professor Emeritus, Dr. Larry Krajewski. As a young transfer student trying to balance majors in nursing and mathematics, Larry created space for me where none existed. His open mind, benevolence, and his willing to listen and hold in true caring my professional and personal aspirations made it possible for me to merge my passion for nursing with the power of mathematics and data. This planted the seeds for my life in nursing and health informatics. And he taught me something else. He taught me how one act of kindness and belief in another person can change a life. I would choose nursing again. Nursing is about connection and connecting the head and the heart. Nursing, as we have heard and are committed to, is about advancing the health of all people, all communities, and our planet. Actually, nursing is about the practice of leading with love. So I thank you, I thank nursing, and I thank you for this incredible honor. Thank you.
Next, I have the honor to recognize Dr. Judith Haber as a living legend. Dr. Judith Haber's legacy is one of innovation, compassion, and transformation, proof that nursing leadership can redefine healthcare on a global scale. Dr. Haber began her career as a psychiatric mental health clinical nurse specialist during a time, during a time of major change, the movement toward deinstitutionalization. She met that moment with courage and innovation, redefining the role of nurses in community-based mental health and authoring the groundbreaking textbook, Comprehensive Psychiatric Nursing, which became the foundation for generations of psychiatric mental health nurses around the world. A trailblazer in shaping nursing policy, Dr. Haber co-chaired the American Nurses Association task force that developed the first scope and standards for psychiatric mental health nurse practitioners. She also helped secure a landmark Medicare policy that authorized reimbursement for advanced practice nurses, expanding access to mental health care and empowering nurses nationwide. Her contributions to evidence-based practice reshaped nursing education globally. Her textbook, Nursing Research, Methods and Critical Appraisal for Evidence-Based Practice, has guided millions of students and professionals in turning research into action. Dr. Haber's visionary leadership expands far beyond mental health to the vital connection between oral and overall health. Dr. Haber has led a nationwide movement to integrate oral health into nursing and interprofessional education and founded the Oral Health Nursing Education and Practice Program, or OHNEP. Her groundbreaking article, Putting the Mouth Back in the Head, challenged outdated paradigms and inspired a new generation of health professionals to view the body and care as truly holistic. Her efforts have trained thousands of clinicians and influenced health policy at the highest level. The Academy designated Dr. Haber's OHNEP model as an edge runner in 2019. Through her teaching, research, and policy leadership, she continues to inspire and elevate the profession. Let's hear from one of Judy's sponsors about her incredible impact.
Judy can bring to the younger generations in nursing an excitement and also a sense that great mountains can be moved. So if you're a young person today and you have an idea or you have a passion about something, Judy's inspiration is stick with that and keep going, get excited about it, get your team together, write about it, put something together in policy, and it'll continue. Judy has inspired me in the way that she never gives up. She's an innovator, an educator, and a disseminator all at once. So she innovates how we should be thinking about oral health when we didn't think of the mouth as a part of the body. But for many years, Judy kept saying this is part of the whole system. And so not only does she recognize that, but she researches it, then she writes textbooks about it, then she starts an organization to change policy, then she changes policy, and then everyone catches up with her. Judy is deserving of this honor because she has been a legend in her own time. I think people are probably surprised that she is reached an age where she is an emerita professor because she's remained so active. She's always been around and she will continue to be around. And that's what is so important about our living legends. They're sustaining their work and their work will live beyond them. And we will see the important work of psych mental health, evidence-based practice, and oral systemic healthcare continue for generations.
Well, quite an evening. And I certainly follow on the steps of the two living legends who preceded me. But I am so thrilled and honored to be selected as an Academy Living Legend. So let me start by thanking the Academy leadership, President Linda Scott, President-elect Deborah Barksdale, we go way back, members of the board, and members of the Living Legends Task Force, chaired by Dr. Ken White, who is to be congratulated as well. And he is as you know, the inaugural recipient of Linda Burns Bolton Polaris Award. But special thanks to my NYU deans, AAN Living Legend Terry Fulmer, AAN past president Eileen Sullivan Marks, and newly elected and future president, Angela Amar. To my sponsors, Eileen Sullivan Marks, Madeline Nagel, and Sherry Greenberg, all longtime dear friends and colleagues. They have been my LL team. I can't thank you enough for all your friendship, support, and wisdom. To my amazing family, my children, Lori, Andrew, and Abby, who are here tonight, my sisters, Debbie and Honey, my brother Steve, my nephew Eric, and representing our 5 grandchildren, Benji Goldberg, who is here, has been working all day because he's on his first job since graduating from college. And he's representing our other 4 grandchildren who are scattered around the globe in Madrid, Florence, Vietnam, and Nashville. At Vanderbilt, yay. Most of all, as many of you know, I have an extraordinary husband, Lenny, who has been my rock and supporter throughout, believe it or not, our 62-year marriage. I was a child bride. He truly has been the wind beneath my wings. But as the saying goes, if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. And that is how fortunate I am to feel. And I stand on the shoulders of giants because leadership is a team sport. Claire Fagan, Hildegard Peplau, Grace Sills, Jenna Betts, Beverly Malone, among others here tonight, all role models, mentors, and colleagues. Many are former students. Now they're Academy members. They inspired me to reach for the stars, seize opportunities, dare to go places I never imagined, and drive change to improve health and well-being for the focus of nursing's concern, my concern, individuals, families, and communities, so that we are part of the solution, not the problem. I've had the unique opportunity to play a leadership role in accelerating change in psychiatric nursing, evidence-based practice, and oral systemic health, all in the service of serving the public and serving the public good. I feel a special responsibility to carry on the leadership legacy I share with so many of you here tonight. Together, young and not so young, we are shaping the future of nursing and healthcare, even in these difficult times. I believe that investing in the next generation of our nursing leadership begins with all of us here tonight. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for this honor of a lifetime. Thank you.
Our next Academy Living Legend to be honored this evening is Dr. Christine Miaskowski. Dr. Miaskowski's name is synonymous with patient advocacy. As an internationally renowned expert, her groundbreaking work in pain management and symptom science has profoundly shaped the field of oncology nursing and advanced the scientific understanding of patient experiences in chronic illness. Dr. Miaskowski is a professor emeritus, physiologic nursing, University of California, San Francisco School of Nursing, where she continues to bridge research and practice. Her legacy spans the globe through her commitment to supporting the next generation of nurse scientists. Dr. Miaskowski's science encapsulates the multiplier effect as it has improved symptom control and quality of life for countless patients, but for the countless number of patients who have been touched by others using her science. Specifically, and driven by a personal mission to improve cancer pain care, Dr. Miaskowski launched her research career by introducing the Brompton cocktail, a then revolutionary analgesic regimen, into clinical practice. Her early work in opioid pharmacology with Dr. John Levine established foundational evidence for analgesic synergy without synergistic side effects, especially in gender-specific responses. This groundbreaking work catalyzed national attention and helped launch the field of sex-based differences in pain research. With over 50 years of experience in the nursing profession and more than 3 decades of continuous National Institutes of Health funding totaling over $75 million, Her research portfolio expanded rapidly to study a broad range of symptoms, including fatigue, depression, sleep disturbances, and cognitive impairment. She was among the first to define and explore symptom clusters in oncology, highlighting how multiple symptoms co-occur and interact. A leader within and outside the profession, Dr. Miaskowski was the first nurse elected president of the American Pain Society and served on the board of scientific advisors of the National Cancer Institute. Let's hear from one of Christine's sponsors about her profound impact.
So Chris has been inspiring in so many ways. Her passion and commitment to alleviate pain and other symptoms in people with cancer is really far-reaching. Early on in her career, she introduced the Brompton cocktail as an early nurse, having to not accept the status quo, but break down barriers, get through executive leadership to accept this and implement the protocol, which helps so many. This is the type of pioneering work that she has done, forging a path that so many of us were able to then follow. She was the first nurse to be the president of the American Pain Society. She was the first nurse to be named the American Cancer Society professor, and she was one of a few nurse scientists highlighted by the National Cancer Institute for their 50th year anniversary of the National Cancer Act. So this is truly somebody who's extraordinary, has reached so many people and so many lives. Chris deserves this honor because of the extraordinary amount of work she's done for the profession of nursing, for so many people impacted by cancer, by the long-term effects of cancer treatments, by the extraordinary level of mentorship she's provided that's far-reaching for so many people around the globe who suffer so greatly, and her passion to alleviate all of that suffering. I think what really encapsulates her is her own nursing story. She witnessed her father die from intractable pain from cancer, and she vowed in his honor and in his memory to not let that happen to others. And she has been steadfast in that pathway ever since. And beyond her work in the field, she really has such a unique passion and caring attitude towards all of humankind. So she's a living legend, not just in nursing, but really in humankind. She is both.
Wow. I need my glasses. Good evening to each and every one of you. When President Scott phoned me to tell me that I was selected as a living legend, two words kept echoing in my head. And I have to tell you, she asked me where I was when she phoned. And just as an anecdote, I was having a pedicure. So, all right. But the two words that kept echoing in my head were gratitude and people. These two words have persisted in my consciousness as I thought about the reflections that I wanted to share with you this evening. Why these two words? Well, the ultimate reason is that this honor is not about me. This honor is really about all the people in my life who facilitated my standing at this podium this evening. Therefore, the foci for some of my reflections this evening are on the people in my life and in my expression of gratitude to each and every one of them. A word about gratitude. According to Merriam-Webster, and we've heard that word from other speakers tonight, according to Merriam-Webster, gratitude is a state or feeling of being thankful and appreciative for the benefits or kindness received from others or from life itself. It involves recognizing and affirming the value of something freely given, whether it is a tangible gift, an act of support, or a favorable circumstance. Gratitude has two key elements: recognizing the goodness in one's life and acknowledging that that goodness comes from outside oneself, often, and I believe truly, from other people, as well as a higher power. When one expresses gratitude to people, and I feel this sincerely, one invariably leaves someone out. I apologize in advance for any omissions. I'd like to begin with my parents. My father finished grammar school and my mother finished high school. Both of them instilled in me a deep love of learning and the value of education. I was the first person in my family to obtain a college degree and go on to complete the PhD. They taught me at a very young age what I think to be perhaps the two most important words in the English language: thank you. We don't say that enough. I am eternally grateful to my parents for sacrificing so much so that I could achieve my dreams of becoming an oncology nurse and a nurse scientist. Many of you know, and it was alluded to in the video by Marilyn, that my passion for symptom science came from my experience with my father, who died in intractable pain from laryngeal cancer. Until recently, the memories of my dad's suffering haunted me. However, a couple of weeks ago, when I was thinking about this talk and my remarks, I had this revelation about my father's suffering, that it really led to so much good in terms of my life's work as a symptom scientist, and that was really comforting to me. Equally important, I am grateful to all of the patients who I've cared for over the years, 51 of them to be exact, and those who participated in our research studies. Each and every patient has taught me so much. Their challenges and less than optimal experiences with our healthcare system motivated me to try and seek research solutions and policy solutions. For example, I served on too many clinical practice guidelines to count at this point. In addition, my mentors and mentees are very special people in my life. This recognition, this award, is more about them than it is about me. I often share with mentees that serendipity plays a huge role in a successful scientific career. I really wish I had the time to tell you about all the serendipitous experiences that I've had over the years with my mentors. Suffice it to say, I've been blessed with extraordinary mentors who shaped and continue to shape my scientific career. Equally important, the mentees that I have had the privilege of working with on a daily basis, as well as all of my research staff and scientific collaborators, provided me with countless new ideas for our research endeavors. All of us had one ultimate goal in mind: to decrease patients' and family caregivers' symptom burden and improve their quality of life. I am grateful for the opportunity to work with these selfless and dedicated individuals. Now, I gotta get through this part without crying. Family is really, really important to me, and I'm probably not gonna succeed in this, but I want to express my gratitude to Marilyn Dodd for sharing her family with me. I've been adopted by a wonderful family who are here tonight. I'd like to acknowledge Marilyn's sister-in-law, Joan, who is a dear friend. Joan's twin daughters, Meredith and Rose, who I am very proud to say are oncology nurses, and Meredith just was awarded her PhD in nursing from the University of Pittsburgh. And last but certainly not least, Rose's husband, Rob, who served our country in special forces in Iraq and Afghanistan. Very meaningful. I am extremely grateful that you are here with me tonight to celebrate. A final expression of gratitude to Drs. Marilyn Hammer, Marilyn Dodd, and Betty Farrell, who nominated me for this award. You know how much I value your friendship and support. In conclusion, I'd like to thank the Academy for this great honor and thank each of every one of you sincerely for listening to me about these comments. Thank you very, very much.
Our next living legend to honor this evening is Brother Ignatius Perkins. Brother Perkins is a luminary figure in nursing, ethics, and faith-based healthcare. Over his 6-decade career, he has embodied grace and humanity and compassion. He is a moral compass for the profession, striving for each of us to do better, respond with empathy, and be advocates for social justice. Brother Ignatius Perkins, as Director, St. Martin D. Perez Center for Health and Human Dignity, Providence College School of Nursing and Health Sciences, exemplifies the integration of science and compassion. A Dominican friar, nurse, educator, administrator, ethicist, humanitarian, Brother Perkins is widely recognized for his long life commitment to human dignity and the advancement of nursing education and health equity, both nationally and globally. A prolific scholar, Brother Perkins has delivered over 300 presentations and authored more than 60 publications. His research and advocacy center on vulnerable populations, including older adults, individuals with HIV/AIDS, people experiencing homelessness, and abuse survivors. He further honed his expertise during a prestigious National Institute of Health fellowship in clinical bioethics at Georgetown University, conducting a landmark study on personhood among individuals experiencing homelessness with AIDS. His trilogy of healthcare model, anchored in human dignity, human freedom, and human flourishing, provides a foundational ethics framework that has influenced generations of clinicians, healthcare institutions, and academic leaders. He has served as a consultant to bishops, dioceses, and health systems, offering guidance on complex issues such as mental illness, addiction, clergy misconduct, and patient autonomy. His courage and integrity have earned him deep respect in both secular and faith-based communities. Let us hear more from one of Brother Perkins' sponsors on his lasting contributions to humanity.
Ignatius Perkins is an extraordinary role model, not just for nursing, but for the world. He is the Johnny on the spot. I mean, when they have a problem, they call him. They call him to fix the schools, to start a new school, to do a new project. I always call him the 3 Bs. He is bold, he is brilliant, and he's blessed. And so I figure if you ever want to have those qualities, you just kind of put your shoulder up against brother, because that's what he exudes. That's who he is, and I am in total awe of him. There's a transformative element to Brother Ignatius Perkins. I was working with him on a project, and there were colleagues who were not performing well. He has this ability to hold them and at the same time scold them. Somehow he manages to do that. And I think that's quite an art. When I work with brother, I get nothing but another B word. I get nothing but the best. And it rubs off on me, and it makes me want to do more than I am even capable of doing. It makes me stretch. I think we want people around us and with us who demand that we stretch. brother does that. When you have someone in nursing who is that much of a leader, who understands that you stand for what is right and what is ethical and reasonable, regardless of who it comes from, it doesn't get better than that. And that's who he exemplifies. He is the essence of what the living legend was meant to be. And I can't think of anyone who fits the image, fits the total package of what a living legend should be than Brother Ignatius Perkins.
Emboldened through our mission of hope and healing, as we continue to provide hope and healing to the sick and bring them to wellness, we celebrate the richness of our vocation in caring with compassion, especially to the unwanted, the unloved, those who have no place to lay their heads at night, to persons of color and different lifestyles, the differently abled, those who have been abused by others, to those near the end of their lives, and to our colleagues, let us also honor those who have gone before us, and humbled by their courage as they brought healing and hope and peace to the world through the gifts of the art and science of nursing. On this privileged moment, as recipient of the American Academy of Nursing Living Legend, I must thank the Academy for selecting me to receive this award and acknowledge the many gifts I have received these past 61 years as a nurse, from colleagues, patients, my birth family, my Dominican community, that have helped me form in the person of who now stands before you. I wish to honor and celebrate all nurses who continue as healers to transform human life so that the ineradicable values of human dignity, freedom, and human flourishing can lead one another, our colleagues, our families, our communities, and our world to an enduring peace. I also wish to acknowledge Dr. Beverly Malone, Catherine Mershon, and Dr. Roy Simpson, who with daring ingenuity prepared the proposal for the Living Legends Review Committee. As you continue to bring healing and hope to the world, I ask God's blessing on each of you and your colleagues with the blessing of your healing hands. These are your hands of compassion and courage. These are your hands of knowledge and skill. These are your hands of human touch, comfort, and love. These are your hands of the spirit of human life. These are your hands that support and assure hope. These are your hands that protect human dignity, integrity, and diversity. These are your hands that defend freedom, justice, and inclusion. These are your hands that promote human flourishing. These are your hands that bring an enduring peace to our world. These are your hands that accompany those at the beginning of life and near the end of their lives. These are your hands that care for our colleagues who are offering suffering alone. These are your hands that care for the wounded healers in our midst. These are your hands that heal and lift the human spirit. These are your hands that dare to pause, to listen, and to hear the suffering of others. These are your hands that wipe the tears of colleagues when their hands seem empty. These are your hands that will reshape our culture of caring, reflected in the caring of every person in our world, so that we may discover anew that every person is unique, unrepeatable, and important, and every person is necessary but we are different faces of the one humanity. Amen.
Our final living legend to honor this evening is Phyllis Sharps. Throughout her distinguished career, Dr. Sharps has been a relentless champion for women's health and equity, particularly for women of color affected by intimate partner violence. Her pioneering nurse-led interventions have redefined how health systems respond to the intersection of violence, pregnancy, and family well-being. Among her most recognized contributions is the DOVE program, Domestic Violence Enhanced Home Visitation, an NIH-funded NIH-funded initiative that empowers pregnant women through nurse-guided safety planning and support. Implemented across the United States and above, DOVE has become a model of compassionate, evidence-based care. It has saved lives and redefined how nurses address violence and trauma in maternal care. A proud veteran of the U.S. Army Navy Corps, Dr. Sharps began her career in service, leading initiatives that opened doors for underrepresented military personnel. Guided by her deep sense of justice and opportunity, Dr. Sharps took action. She developed a practical nursing program for Army Reserve schools, a groundbreaking initiative that helped enlisted personnel, many from underrepresented communities, become nurses and advance their careers. This early achievement reflected the leadership, empathy, and vision that would define her life's work. Dr. Sharps has always paired leadership with service. At Johns Hopkins, she established nurse-led community health centers that deliver care and education to vulnerable families in East Baltimore, bringing care, companionship, and education directly to those who need it most. As a mentor, she has guided hundreds of students and faculty from underrepresented backgrounds, nurturing the next generation of nursing leaders. Throughout her research, teaching, and advocacy, Dr. Phyllis Sharps has transformed care for women and children. I'm just so excited about everything she's done. Has transformed care for women and children, strengthened communities, and inspired the profession to lead humanely and with courage. It is a privilege to recognize Dr. Sharps this evening. Let's hear from one of her sponsors.
I would describe Phyllis as warm, loving, caring, and also very smart. She's a maternal child health specialist. She's a wonderful policy maker and influencer. And so she developed an actual intervention for abused women during pregnancy or the first postpartum year. And it can be delivered at home or it can be delivered in a prenatal care setting. She tested it. It was found to be effective. It reduced the reoccurrence of domestic violence for those women. And it has had an enormous impact in terms of giving people a tool, a very straightforward nursing
intervention kind of tool to address this issue? Well, first of all, she's a good friend. I absolutely love her. We used to have every Friday, we would have a writing day. You know, she'd be working on some manuscript, I'd be working on one. Sometimes we'd work on ones together, but it would make us be more productive. And she has written many, many articles that have had a big impact on nursing and on changing the field so that there's better attention to women who are abused during pregnancy. Phyllis has always helped me be better, a better person, a better nurse, a better friend. We work together really well, and we have mentored some of the younger nurses coming up together, and that's been an honor.
Well, thank you. The one thing about being last is you can have a bigger case of nerves, and you can listen to everybody else and think, well, I should have said this. Luckily, I didn't have a pen, so it is what it is. I want to say that my heart is filled with gratitude to have been selected as a living legend. Thank you to the Academy leadership, Dr. Scott, Dr. Barksdale, the selection committee, Dr. White, and all of the members of the Academy. For me, it has been a blessing to have built my nursing career, practice, research, teaching on values that reflect things that are called the fruits of the Spirit. That is charity, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There have been many nurses who have been a part of my journey, and I wish I'd had time to thank all of them, but there are a few I would like to highlight. First, the late Dr. Fanny Gaston Johansson, who is also a living legend. And she inspired me to think about it. She thought that I definitely could be one, and we strategized together. So Fanny, thank you. And also Dr. Hill, who was the dean that hired me at Johns Hopkins School of Nursing, and looked at my materials and said, you gotta organize, and she just mapped out something that was like really, really great. I am also very grateful for my sponsors, Dr. Campbell. I approached her many years ago. She had given a talk, and I was a new postdoc, and I was floundering, trying to where to go with my research. And I said to her, if you could help me write, that's a challenge for me. And she said, oh, here, take my card, make an appointment. And I thought, gee, she's not gonna. But you never know. So thank you, Dr. Campbell. Dr. C. Alicia George was also one of my sponsors and one of my heroes. I thank you. And Dr. Angela Amar, who it is such a joy when you have a mentor that goes on to do the great things that she's done. So thank you very much. There have been many colleagues who they come into your life, some for a reason, some for a season, and they stay. Dr. Ruby Shadow, who's here tonight, Dr. Linda Thompson, and I started out as three pretty poor doctoral students, and we supported each other through our studies, and each of us has gone on to have fabulous careers, and thank you for coming tonight. Then there was, I have the triplet Lindas, but then there was Dr. Linda Pugh, who, when I was a new faculty at Hopkins, she invited me to be an investigator on her NINR-funded breastfeeding research targeting Black women. So I am always grateful for that start. And then there was Dr. Linda Bullock, and Dr. Linda, you will understand this phrase that I saw her on a beverage napkin on a Southwest flight, quote, The best ideas are born on napkins. And I visited her, she was at Columbia University School of Nursing. We were having ice cream, something we enjoy to this day. And we had a napkin, and we started writing and mapping out the concepts, and that became the Dove Project, which went on to be funded by NINR and NICHD. So, you know, needless to say, one of the things I learned from being in the Army is work hard and play hard. So there's always time for ice cream. I am thankful for the opportunities to work with vulnerable and underserved women, families, children, as a community health nurses. Together, we problem solved, we strategized together, we made connections to needed resources, and I was also grateful to have the opportunity to share their perspectives on policies that were being developed that I knew would impact their lives. Perhaps the greatest joy of being a faculty and a mentor is seeing students and junior faculty develop great skills, become excellent clinicians, write successful grants, and are prolific in their publications. And many of my mentees are here tonight. Many are outstanding leaders in nursing, researchers, faculty members, and several are deans of School of Nursing. So I'm grateful to have been a part of their journey. I would like to thank my husband, Purcell, who's here. We celebrated 54 years of marriage in September. I can say that he wasn't always sure what I was doing or why I was doing it, but he always supported me and loved me through the ups and downs of research and teaching. I thank to my daughter, Stephanie, my son, Michael, my son-in-law, Owens, and my two beautiful granddaughters, Sabrina and Sophia. My sister Fran is here, my husband's twin brother, Howard, is here, and his wife, and a host of other family members and friends that have come to celebrate and have traveled here, and I thank you very much for that. As I sit down, I would like to leave you with these thoughts that I developed without fully understanding the theme of this conference. But I think as nurses, we all have at least two superpowers: wisdom and trustworthiness. Wisdom because we are well educated and we understand the nature of all people, who they are, and regardless to where they live. We understand how that impacts their health and illness. And nurses use their wisdom to offer evidence-informed solutions and strategies. And nurses use their wisdom to adapt interventions and policies to address what is needed. Our second superpower is trustworthiness. For more than 23 years, the Gallup poll results have rated nurse as number one, the top of the heap, in terms of professions most trusted. Nursing practice and nursing research matters. And when nurses lead and speak, others trust that nurses do it with integrity and credibility. Thank you again for this honor.
So everyone, please help us celebrate our newest American Academy of Nursing Living Legends. Their work demonstrates the humanity, commitment, and ingenuity of the nursing profession. Their contributions and the dedication they have to the health of the public remind us of all the power that each one of us has to strive for a better tomorrow, and that collectively we can truly make a difference. To close our ceremony this evening, I would like us to hear from an iconic figure we lost this year, Dr. Linda Burns Bolton. Her words are the perfect message for the end of our event.
Good evening. Okay, you couldn't be asleep already. Thank you, President Berkowitz, for your kind words and for this tremendous honor. I'm humbled to receive the Academy's Living Legend Award. My nominators, Catherine Alicia Georges, Sue Hassmiller, who unfortunately could not be here tonight, and Rita Ray are very dear friends, and I'm eternally grateful for their support. Throughout my professional career, I have worked to engage others from across all walks of life, and indeed it does take engaging individuals where they are about this work of trying to advance humankind. I have sought grace for each action taken to support the work of nursing, which I firmly believe is human caring. The willingness to give of self, to be open to all opportunities, to be of use to others, to be gracious when disappointments occur, and they will, and to always, always be thankful for God's love. I am thankful that I choose to love, that I choose to give of self to demonstrate kindness to others without regard of who their backgrounds are. I believe in an equitable, inclusive, and diverse society. I hold close to my heart grace for all the life's moments. I am thankful for the many colleagues and fellows that are here tonight and those that are not here, the ones that I've had the opportunity to work with over the last several decades. My recognition is your recognition. Now, in recognition of celebrating nursing excellence for 3 decades with the Living Legends designation, I would like to call to the stage all living legends in the audience tonight to pose for a group photo. This might take a few minutes to guide everyone to the stage for the photo, so please try not to stop them on their way. We know they're legends. Try hard. There will be plenty of time to network after this event. If you could allow a photographer to capture this iconic photo for the Academy archives first, that means before you start clicking your cameras, that would be greatly appreciated.
So it has been an honor for Deborah and I to host you this evening. As our living legends make it their way to the stage, let's give all of our living legends another round of applause. These luminaries within our profession demonstrate the brilliance and humility that has opened doors and courageously transformed healthcare.